horrible bleed through. What the fuck? What the fuck? I have a sheet of diamond plate, and that's what I'm going to be using for those plugs on the holes in the van. I just bought this because it's inexpensive, and because it has these depressed shapes in it, it's obviously going to be more dense than if I got aluminum of the same thickness. So this is about 35 bucks, and it's a 12 by 24, so we're going to try this out, and it's fairly stiff, so it shouldn't it should seal well when I put sealant behind it, and then it also should still be able to flex. So we're gonna give that a go. So I have my old piece that one I quickly made last year. I'm not sure if I need every single hole now. I may only do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because it's thicker plate. This was just some thin galvanized steel that I had. And then I just did a bead roll in it to stiffen it, just to quickly seal it up for the year. So there's still butyl tape on and stuff. So I'm gonna just make a new sheet piece like this, and I had marked it. This is the top, so that's the center. You could see that. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna go as well. I'm just hopefully it'll just make it easier to get the holes to line up. So we're gonna give this a go. I apologize in advance if it's hard to hear me through the mask. It seems like it's coming through, but I know how it can be kind of annoying to listen to a guy talking through a fucking respirator. But the van still smells like paint. We used a hardener catalyst, so isocyanates. I'm not gonna want to be standing around it too much, breathing it in. So I'm gonna be wearing a mask for a lot of the stuff we're doing in this video, just so you know, for fair warning. I take my scribe, and you can see my super messy work jump that I need to clean, but I don't. Is that any different than any other car guy? I don't know. But I'm just gonna scribe around this. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but try to use as little material as possible. So I'm going right from the factory edge, scribing around. Okay, so there you go. See if you can see those scribe marks. So I scribed around what I need, and then I'm gonna have to use my zip cut to get the rough shape, and then I can sand it as I go through, so just in case. I know gloves are a no-no with a bench grinder, but it's hot. And I don't want to use pliers so I don't want to damage the surface. Just taking a bit of that shine away. It won't reflect so much in people's eyes too. All right, I'm gonna drill some holes and I'll be back. I'm just gonna make a gasket out of cork for now. I might have to put sealant on it, but I just want it to be removable, so I'm gonna just make a cork gasket, simple. So I just have a rule of, I think it's 1/16 of an inch cork. It'll be fine for all kinds of stuff, whatever, make your own gasket, we'll do that. Gasket, just gonna cut around it now. Gasket. So I'm doing the same thing on the rest of them and I'll touch base on it again. Okay, I'm not gonna fully insert that one, install that one yet. Just gonna get it tight. Then I'm gonna go that bottom one drill. Careful. What? Try not to completely dick the paint. Wild. Alright, this will be fucking line it up. That'll probably seal. Alright, this sealing surface is questionable, so I'm going to use a bit of seam sealer underneath it first. Well, alright, so what do I got to lose, eh? Now, let's try not to ruin the paint, but, okay, same thing as last time, I'm just going to kind of get it, just holding slightly there. Just like you would torque anything else, that's kind of what we're doing. Cool. Nice. Not to paint up too much. Still kind of soft. Try to pull back as I'm squeezing. That way it doesn't have the tendency to want to punch the fucking paint. There we go. So I made a little tiny boo-boo. I have a little touch-up brush or a pinstriping brush. I'm no pinstriper, but we can use it to just dab a little tiny bit of paint in the spot that I fucked. So here's the thing, I've fucked up a lot of stuff in my time, so I've learned how to fix things, make it pretty good, so that's not bad. So just touched up a little bit. Yeah, so right there, it's a little touch up, and that's okay. So see, there's a little spot right here. I'm just gonna take my touch up brush here. I just call it that because I'm not a pinstriper. All right, I'm just gonna try and, it's not thinned or nothing, I just dipped my brush into the paint and I'm just gonna feather that out a little bit, and that'll melt in, you won't even see it. Little spot right, I think there's a spot right here. Because this is the reality of a roller paint job. I'm gonna go through and you're gonna see there's texture. It's not hazy, but the gloss, it's obviously not mirror finish. This is the reality of a roller paint job, and if you're okay with it, then I highly recommend you do it. Even here, oh, I didn't get all the tape off here. Like I said, you can see that I masked around it, but what I'll do later is I'll just take a fine brush and I can brush these in later. It's really not a big deal. And that's what you want to do. If you want to take the emblems off, take the emblems off. It'll get a cleaner job, but I didn't want it. If you want to take the mirrors off, you can take the mirrors off. If you want to take the handles off and the door locks off, then go right ahead. I mean, it's all up to what you want to do, but yeah, this is what you're gonna get. If you want to do a concourse restoration, take everything off, then be my guest. But you know what? There's a balance between doing a good job and a job that never gets done. You know, sometimes there's things you just have to accept for what they are, like these runs. There's a couple runs under the door lock, you know, and it's just one of those things. I didn't see it, I wasn't able to catch it. There's a little run right here. I wasn't able to catch it and push it out, but that's okay. There's some roller marks and stuff, and remind you, there's gonna be a decal here. But you know what, it actually, the more these sit, the thing is with this alkyd paint, it actually will flatten out the surface, and it'll actually end up not too bad as it cures. It's always going to kind of look worse at first, and then it'll look better after. Where normal paint, it will look really good when you first paint it, like automotive urethane paint, it'll look really good when you paint it, and then as everything kind of shrinks and dies back, it looks worse. But this kind of stuff does the opposite. You know, so this is it. And you know, I masked around every window trim, and you really can't tell. And you know, I got in there really good with my sandpaper, and if I lift this up, you can see there's no paint underneath. I didn't take these all off, but again, that's okay. It's painted and it looks good, and I want to do all my cars like this. So you know, there might be something to be said about these roller jobs. I might be doing more of this stuff even on my Javelin, and some of you purists might hate that, but if I do it, I'll do it, and that's okay, because I'd rather spend $200 than $2,000 on a paint job. Plus you don't have to worry about overspray, and I live in the city, so I don't want to bother anybody with paint fumes. So run here, those little ones there, there's some paint on the glass right here. You can take that off with a razor blade. There's a run under the door lock here. Again, it's easy to get those runs because you go around it with a brush, and then it looks good, and then you come back 5 minutes later and there's a run. So some things you got to be aware of, but totally transparent on the quality of this paint job. It's not a show job, but you know what, it's all painted and I'm okay with it, and hopefully you guys are too. Hopefully you can appreciate doing these kind of jobs. This is kind of what the channel is going to be about, is doing these, you know, not full hack jobs, but you know what, this is a half decent job, and it's not perfect, right? Like there's going to be some overpaint, there's a little bit overspray on here from when I primed. That can all be taken care of after. Every job has a bit of overspray on it. Even professional jobs, you just have to go over it. You know, there's a little bit of paint there. I'm gonna wipe off them. Wait, no, I take quadruple aught steel wool and just clean up the glass. But yeah, this is what it looks like down the side. There's some texture to it. There's roller marks. There's hazy spots. but overall it's really not bad, and it's gonna look cool with the decal on it. It looks better on camera than in person, but it's still acceptable. Like, there's decent gloss, and that can be polished. I put four thick coats on this, so I can polish this down a lot. There's no clear coat in it. It doesn't have clear coat that, you know, goes to the surface like in single stage paint, so you can only polish so much. I could polish this all the way down to the primer. The hood actually turned out nice, and if I had the time, it wasn't dark out, I probably would have done a 4th coat or even a 5th coat on the whole vehicle, because I only used about 1 gallon of paint, and I thought I was going to use 2 gallons because it's so big. But this is still pretty much half full. Like, I hardly used any paint, and that's the cool thing about this, is you hardly need any paint to do this kind of job. You just roll it on. You don't need 10 gallons of paint to do a giant van like this. You used maybe half a gallon on the top and then 1 gallon to do the body. That's under $200 worth of paint to do a whole van. And it's really not, it's not that much work if you don't want to, you know, if you don't mind having some, you know, spots under the emblems that aren't painted. You can go back later and not having to take the mirrors off. And if, you know, you can do this in a weekend, maybe 3-4 days you could do a job like this. Really not that much work. Shit's on the fucking way, man. So I got that upper vent from the van, and I took all the butyl tape off, so that was a nightmare. I just kind of scraped it off with a putty knife. I'm not going to show you all that because it was pretty painful. But I'm going to flatten out all the holes because I over tightened them last year, and also when I pulled this off, the butyl tape stuck and I kind of bent everything. So I'm going to go through with my hammer, my dolly. I'm just going to try to straighten out the holes, straighten out this best I can, and then we're going to paint it a better white. This is kind of like a 80s 90s off-white. I repainted it, and I hate off-white. It's like when you have a white house and then people smoke in it chronically, and then it turns this off-white color. That's what it reminds me of, and I hate it. I like bright white. So that's what we're gonna paint it like. I have a rail anvil here. I'm probably not gonna even use it because I haven't polished it yet, and I don't want to grind because I got paint and thinners everywhere, so that's dangerous. But I'll take my dolly. I'm just gonna flatten her out. Just gonna take my Scotch Brite red and just scuff it. I have an issue where when I cut this piece of wood in here, what ended up happening, it's not going to conform to the body, so when I tighten it, it kind of pushes in. So what I'm going to do, I'm not taking all the paneling apart to redo that. I have some foam that my Automaster 3000, and I'm actually looking at it and I can split it. So I'm going to use some of this foam just up in behind. And it's layered, so I can take some of it and I can just peel it away and kind of stuff it in behind. Take up some of that slack. That's what I'm going to do, I think. Foam up, just kind of like that. And it kind of gives it like a little bit of a cushion, like a spring. I'm just shoving it in behind here. Give it a little bit of something. Shit so much. Definitely better. Try not to screw it in too hard. I might have to do some rivets instead, but... Sanded and masked off. I'm going to try my best not to get fucking chemistry on the fresh paint. Let's keep the Deeper Master 3000. Just then for us. So I'm gonna kind of do that. I hope the edges first. Usually you want to wait to unmask until it's tacky, but I don't want to pull any of the fresh paint off the grate. Good up there. Sorry about the air conditioner. Might have to get a chest mic. Horrible bleed through. What the fuck? What the fuck? All right. She's looking pretty good. I'm happy with it. That is awesome. I got the vents on. I painted them. You saw a little bit of that previously. I didn't bother doing this one on camera. I painted it off camera. And I also, I took some screen behind it. So just your run-of-the-mill house storm door screen. I cut it to fit. And then I sealed it in and then added foam weather stripping. All right, well, we're now on to repairing this damage in the fiberglass. We're just doing it to be good enough. It doesn't have any structure. It doesn't need to be structural. I'm gonna grind down the old repair here and expose that crack. I'm gonna grind around it and try not to damage the metal area here. I'm just gonna get that fiberglass flare. I'm gonna grind down the back side as well. We're gonna try to get repaired on both sides, make it strong enough. I probably won't even sand on the inside. Well, after the repair, I probably won't even sand the fiberglass mat. I'll just leave it. On the outside, we'll sand it, we'll fill it, and I'll make it nice. I'm using my grinder just like I had before with the coarse grit fiber resin disc on it. I'm just going to grind away that old repair. Okay, so ground it out on both sides, and again, I'm not worried if it comes back in a few years here. It's probably not going to, but we're just going to clean all that out. I'm going to take a wire wheel, clean out best I can, and we're going to lay some fiberglass matting. Okay, so I have my fiberglass mat. You get a shitload in this container. I don't need that much. You're going to go 2 to 3 inches past the damage, and I'm going to do that on both sides. So I'm going to cut it to where I think it needs to be. Something like that. That's probably fine. And we're going to come back with fiberglass filler and body filler after anyways. So just to strengthen it up. I'm going to cut 2 pieces at about this size. Wow, you get a lot of friggin' fiberglass matting with it. Right, I'm going to fold this back up. And make sure you're wearing a mask when you do this. You don't want to breathe in that fiberglass fibers. I can never get things folded back up how it came originally. Not just me, or is everybody like that? Alright, put this down, we're gonna hold it. 1, 2, 1. Oh, look at that, we got her folded back up almost perfect. It never happens. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take a cup, I'm gonna pour my resin in, this guy here, and you get hardener with it. It's a clear hardener that you get with like all metal filler, and it says 10 drops of hardener per 1 ounce of resin, whatever that means. I'm gonna pour some resin in, and you're supposed to estimate how much you need. So, ooh, I need to get my respirator for this. Stinky. There's probably way too much resin, but better have a little too much than not enough. Yeah, I'm gonna get my respirator on just for a second. Alright, I always forget how stinky resins and shit is. I don't know how much I use. Maybe 1/6. So I'm also going to use about 1/6 of this tube. And I don't know how many ounces this is, but I'm probably going to do 20 or 30 drops. I don't know how many ounces this is. I'm not going to go ahead and measure it, but I'm just going to try that. I'm not really too worried, and if it doesn't set up, then we'll just do it again and measure it. But usually it will end up pretty good. I'm going to take my mixing stick, piece of old gold paper towel. I'm going to mix her up. Make sure that hardener is all the way incorporated into the resin. Okay. Sweet. So, move my stuff out of the way, so I'm going to put resin on it. I'm going to take my brush, paintbrush, and I'm going to paint the area that I'm going to be applying the mat to. So, paintbrush, I'm going to be applying this resin. Okay. Make sure you get it in all the pores. We'll do both sides, using the mat on both sides. And I'm going to lay down the fiberglass matting just like this. I'm going to saturate the mat with the resin. Saturate, saturate. It doesn't want to stick around the edge, so I'm just gonna cut it just like that, and just going to lay that down on the edge. It's kind of funny how easy it cuts, even though it's soaked in resin. So I'm gonna have to come back after, and I'm gonna have to cut away some of this on the edge, which isn't the end of the world. Stuff makes a mess. By the way, I'm not a professional when it comes to some of this stuff, but we get it done anyways. I'm gonna wipe up all the resin that I spilled on the ground. It's just really, really annoying me that this just won't stick to the edge. I don't know if it's something you do. That's it. So we're gonna leave it there, and we're gonna let that dry, and then I'll come back and I'll grind off the excess when it's cured. I think it takes a few hours to cure, not like normal body filler. So all this is going in the garbage. I'm done with it. I'm just gonna wipe up, and that'll be that. All right, well, we're back, and we're finally going to try to tackle this fiberglass repair. I'm going to try to paint or Raptor liner the wheel wells today. It's supposed to rain tonight, but we're going to paint it anyway. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to cut away some of this excess glass here. See if it'll cut. All right. Maybe. So I'm gonna try to get some 60 grit on here and see if that'll do anything. First, I'm gonna try not to fuck the paint up. I'm trying to do the minimal amount of body work here, so see how that works out. Paint should be hard enough, but it won't pull the paint when I pull this tape. But I'm gonna mask off, so I really don't want to have to. I don't want to damage the paint because then I'll have to go back and touch it up. Should be, which wouldn't be the big deal. I'll just try to avoid it as much as possible. So. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take short strand fiberglass filler, and I'm going to do a coat just over the fiberglass. You know, I might not need to, but there's a spot in this area here. I'm going to try to make the lip a little bit bigger, even though short strand's not usually the way to go for making like a bigger lip here. It's just meant for filling. So, but I'm going to try it. I don't want to have to do another coat of resin. I want to paint today, so see if it works. So you always see that the resins separate in the stuff. So I'm just going to mix the resins up. Yeah, so I'm going to add my hardener, just a blue cream hardener. And all I do, it usually says a pea size amount of hardener for golf ball size of filler. And so I'm just going to go like this. There. That's lots. I'm going to mix it up. Mix it till all the color is uniform, but it's all right. This area here is the way to do it, but on the front here, this is absolutely not the right way to do it. But I'm just trying to build up the edge here, and I'm hoping that I can smooth it out and just kind of get that shape a little bit better. If not, I'm just going to leave it as is, but I'm going to let that cure harden up. I'm going to work on scuffing up the rest of this now and get it ready for Raptor liner. Just going to take a blade and cut away some of the fiberglass up in behind. Well, that's pretty good. I'm going to leave it at that, and we're going to throw some body filler on it now. Just a quick little repair. So I'm going to do the same thing now with just regular body filler. I'm going to put my piece of cardboard over. Oh my god, it's cardboard. Ah. I use Napa Body Gold. It's like Rage Gold. Sounds really good, but it's significantly less expense. So probably too much even there. Oh. Exact same hardener as the other one, exact same ratio. Same as the fiberglass. It's not a science, it is, but not to us. We're just simple, man. Besides, I like my shit to harden up quickly. So I'm mixing till the color is uniform. I'm going to have to touch up the paint a little bit, which is okay. It's kind of annoying, but I wanted to do this and finish it before I painted, but it just didn't happen. Oh yeah, it's already starting to harden, so we're going to leave that there. I like when my body filler hardens quickly. 5 minutes. I like quick repairs. I'm very impatient. That's all set up. It should take about 15 minutes, and then we're gonna sand it, prime it, and so I only have black primer, and paint it. Okay, I'm gonna go in with 60 grit just lightly here. All right, so we're pivoting. It's supposed to rain and rain and rain and rain and rain and rain. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pivot. All it's supposed to do is rain every single day forever. So Raptor liner needs 72 hours before it gets wet, so they say. Even 24 hours I'm sure would be fine. But we haven't had 24 hours without rain in fucking a month and a half. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna paint the wheel wells with fast dry white enamel, and that's what we're gonna do. So I just stopped masking in case it's supposed to rain a little bit tonight, and then I can do it after. My wife's going to get some paint, and then I'll mask it up a little bit better with a drop sheet, and then we'll just spray that white. Hopefully it dries, and then that's all we're gonna do. So check back in when we're ready for that. Stupid fucking tape. Well, it's white anyway. Not bad. Decent finish. Now, notice how I got overspray on the tire. Okay, I didn't mask the tire, nothing. I tried to be careful, but ended up being too careless. So what I'm going to do, take a paintbrush and some thinner. Just going to lightly brush the thinner into the tire, and it'll get rid of all that. I'll wash it off after the paint is dry. I don't want to splatter all up in the fresh paint, so instead of masking it off, which I should have done but I didn't, I thought I could be even more skillful, but I guess I wasn't. Take a bit of thinner. You're retarded. Why? Oh, that's pretty fucking sweet. See if I can back up here.